Wild West Exodus. Wild West Exodus by Warcradle Studios is another game which many will have heard of but may not know just how rich the background to this game is. An alien entity known as the Hex travels between planets where it tries to latch onto a host being to ensure its own survival. It's been doing this since time began, chasing it down from planet to planet, and trying to stop it is another alien race known as the Order. The Hex has moved around 17 times over the ages, trying to ensure its survival, and each time the Order has found them and they've had to escape. This next time the Hex comes to Earth, and upon entering the Earth's atmosphere, it splits itself off into 6 different shards which scatter across the world. These shards bury themselves down into the ground and begin to telepathically communicate to the disenfranchised, the misfits and the loners of society to try and latch onto a human host. Some of the locals who are living near where these shards have buried begin to become influenced by the Hex, and it's here we see alien influences beginning to spread into humanity. The Order have followed the Hex to Earth and are looking for it, all the while a third alien race known as the Watchers are secretly keeping an eye on what is happening. They've been carefully watching the universe over time, shaping things to work how they'd like them to by influencing the actions of planets. It's at this point we see the timeline begin in our game. It's the early 1800s, and one of these Hex shards gets discovered by humanity in Romania. Not fully understanding what it is, but knowing that it's the source of great power, it's stolen and transported to the American West. And here we see the scientists of the time begin to move technology faster than should have ever happened, and faster than we're ready for. It's a time and a place where people are grabbing land to carve out a future for themselves in lawless lands, where they can do whatever they like, but all with this unmatched new power. By the middle of the 1800s, we enter a scientific renaissance, and this alien technology begins to transform our world with powerful weapons, transportation, and human augmentation. This is a time at the end of the American Civil War, which is defined by characters and cultures. You have the warrior nation born of the Native Americans, who now with alien technology can again access their spirit animals and shapeshift with powerful leaders such as Raging Bear and Ghost Wolf. The outlaws of the Wild West have ever increasingly powerful experimental weapons and biomechanical implants. Each of them are trying to stake their claim. Legendary outlaws such as Jesse James, Billy the Kid and Pancho Villa are all driven by the promise of fame and fortune. The Union, which is tarnished by its recent civil war and the horrific technologies it used to claim victory, is a dark reflection of its former self. With a combination of great leaders such as Abraham Lincoln and Armstrong Custer, we also have the scientific mind of Nikola Tesla, and they vow to have strength and resolution to stand tall in the face of adversity, no matter the cost. The enlightened wield formidable intellect to wipe aside those who stand in the way of science and progress. Characters such as Burson Carpathian and Thomas Edison covet knowledge above all things and believe it is only they who can steer humanity on the path to enlightenment. Trying to keep control of this are the lawmen, with leaders such as Wyatt Earp and Wild Bill Hickok, who, during the time of such violence and upheaval, are trying to defend ordinary people who have little chance to survive, let alone prosper. Mix in our alien races and you have a rich melting pot of Wild West gunslingers with augmented arms, scientific fusions of man and machine, animal spirits and alien technology. This is no normal cowboys and Indian story. The Wild West Exodus website is a fantastic source for background summaries, but you'll find a much more in-depth narrative in the core rulebook, which amazingly is free to download from their site. Thanks for watching my video. I hope that you really enjoyed it, and if you did, why not consider clicking on the suggested video below to see more of the work that I've done. If you'd like to support the long-term sustainability of this channel, why not consider checking out my Patreon, where you can pledge and support from as little as $2 a month, and there is lots of different tiers and bonuses which will give you access to a private Discord server. It will give you free t-shirts, free mugs, a podcast every month, and a number of other things, including getting your name at the end of every video, like these awesome folks who already support me now.